Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and we live in a crazy world now. Nothing seems to make sense. Well, there's one thing that has made sense since the beginning of time, and that is God's money, gold. Well, that's why Glint's one of my sponsors. The link's in the top of the description of this video. I buy gold in my Glint account. I have a Glint account. I have my Glint debit MasterCard, which actually allows me to spend my gold if I want to or need to. It's a great, just really a groundbreaking type product or service, I guess would be the more what it is. But it's a cool thing. I've never seen anything like it until I started talking to these guys. And so it's a nice thing to have in my wallet. All right, moving along. Let's get it going. Ripple ODL XRP customer Interco joins Amazon Payment Service Provider Program. This is in Brazil, leading Brazilian super app offering a complete range of services in banking, investments, credit, insurance, shopping, remittance-related services, announced that it has joined Amazon's payment service provider. The program, I won't go any deeper into that, but the point is that that's a Ripple ODL customer, and so now, you know what this reminds me of? I'll show you what it reminds me of. Remember Kendra Hill that disappeared from social media back in the day? This is someone who appeared to know something and then they disappeared off social media. They wrote this: a partnership years in the making in a deal which was negotiated in 2015. Amazon holds a stake in 5 billion XRP. Currently, that XRP is in a locked account until the partnership is made public. Why has it been kept a secret? Let me first respond to this by asking you a question. Why does the price of XRP not move when new partnerships are announced? The answer to my question is that XRP has no use case currently. This will soon change. When it does, the price will rise quickly. They were very selective, why would Amazon care to partner with Ripple in 2015? Ripple, XRP, and Codius, when combined, provide a level of value that cannot be matched by anyone. Ripple is not Ripple by chance. This was all planned. Forget about Amazon for a moment. Ripple has ties to the Federal Reserve and beyond. When XRP is combined with Codius, you have the ultimate payment processing solution integrated into smart contracts, which offer a variety of privacy options. A company such as Amazon would not find a more perfect match. Amazon is also very similar to Ripple, as it too has ties to powerful entities. Moving along, Dark Defender lawsuit ongoing for Ripple. Exchanges halting XRP. On the other hand, CBDC test runs ended for many countries. ISO 222 migration of the Euro system, March 2023. FedNow instant payment, active July 2023. Obvious. Retail out, big players in. Now, this is the interview that George Stephanopoulos, who previously or early in his career was an advisor to, that guy that was president, whose last name I don't say on this channel. Watch this. If you want to see how completely full of BS this guy is, watch these two clips.
Founded by Bankman-Fried. ABC News reached out to Carolyn Ellison for comment, but has not heard back.
One of the reasons FTX went bankrupt is because FTX deposits were used to pay Alameda's creditors. Carolyn Ellison said you knew about that. Is that true?
Best I can tell, Alameda did have a big position open on FTX. That position, I think, was, very over-collateralized a year ago. There is a total market collapse and, specifically a large correlated collapse in its assets, over the last month and to some extent over the last year that threatened that position quite a bit. And I think that's, as best I understand, a lot of what happened there.
I am no cryptocurrency expert. I'm no finance expert, but I don't think you answered my question. I always ask, did you know that FTX deposits were used to pay off Alameda creditors?
I don't know of FTX deposits
How bizarre is this?
used to pay off Alameda creditors. Are you, which creditors are you referring to?
Carolyn Ellison said that you all knew that these funds were put into Alameda. They were the funds owned by your depositors.
So I can't speak for who knew what. You know, a lot of the
He's not asking you to speak for who knew what. He's asking you if you knew.
on FTX did have, borrows either, in dollars or Bitcoin or euros.
But as you know, the FTX terms of service tell the people who signed up, none of the digital assets in your account are the property of or shall be or may be loaned to FTX trading. But you're saying that happened.
My understanding is a few things happen. The first is there is a margin trading facility on FTX by which users can lend out funds, by which other users borrow funds. And so there are explicit cases where there is, margin extended, where there is borrow lending.
If Alameda is borrowing the money that belongs to FTX depositors, that's a bright red line, isn't it?
There are a lot of cases where that's actually explicitly part of the programs and that are happening.
Not here. Here it says that the digital assets may not be loaned to FTX trading. They can't be loaned out.
What is going on here, folks? You know, this to me, this is almost like his two attorney parents intentionally designed it this way so that when it got to this point, everybody was saying what I'm saying, which is what is going on. And then it would put, it's almost like all this is by design so that his lawyers can now point to video like this and say, see, this kid's autistic. He can't be held accountable for that. That's what this looks like to me.
There existed a borrow lending facility on FTX. And I think that's probably covered, I don't remember exactly where, but somewhere else in the terms of service.
But they'd have to approve of that. They're saying they didn't approve of it here. They're saying you approved of it.
If you rewind to, the beginning of FTX, where, some customers were, I think in line with sort of existing relationships that they've had, at least in some cases.
All right, now watch the 610 mark. Let's go to the 610 mark, right? This is just bizarre.
Move on, but just finally on this. This is really a yes or no question.
Yep.
Carolyn Ellison says you knew that FTX funds were being funneled to Alameda. Did you know that?
I knew that there is an open margin position there and that involved.
I know, but that's not what I'm asking. If she's in court and you're in court and she's under oath and you're under oath and you're asked, did you know that these funds were being funneled to Alameda? What is your answer?
This is just bizarre. This guy.
I did not know that there is any improper use of customer funds.
You also took out a $1 billion.
Wow. Then John Deaton saw this and says, remember Bill Ackman and Kevin O'Leary, they said they believe him. And John Deaton says, I challenge both of you to watch the 9-minute interview and then affirm your belief that he's being honest. I don't believe you can. George Stephanopoulos, to his credit, held firm, getting an answer to the most important question. No, the most important question is, why are you not arrested yet? That's the first question I would have asked him if I was doing the interview. I think John Deaton would agree with that. Well, on Maria Bartiromo, Warren Davidson is asking this question. Watch.
Know that hearings on FTX are beginning this month. What are you expecting to learn? And what is your reaction to him coming out in the middle of all of this and doing this interview, saying he did not commit fraud?
Well, I think the world is stunned that he's not in custody. I mean, when you look at the level of meltdown and the things that we've already uncovered, you just look at the op-ed in the Wall Street Journal from the acting CEO who's coming in putting this together. He's like, this is on a level I've never seen, and he did the Enron restructuring. So, that alone should say he should actually be have brought in and be questioned in the United States, not in the Bahamas right now. So I think people suspect there's another layer of two-tiered justice going on, a lot of continuing concern with the Justice Department. And I think it highlights the frustration that many in this space have had with the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Wow. And it looks like Mike Novogratz, you know, they've all been towing the line, but I think Mike Novogratz must have gotten burned too bad by this kid because he's off the reservation here.
I sat there still trying to frankly process so many of the different answers that Sam Bankman-Fried provided yesterday. Believable to you? Not believable? What was your immediate thought?
Listen, Andrew, this is a young guy who's certainly in distress. It was delusional. Like, let's be really clear. Sam is delusional about what happened and his culpability in it. We could all be like dime store psychiatrists, right? There's a lot of narcissism there. There's a lot of grandiosity. But being psychiatrist isn't going to really help, right? He needs to be prosecuted. He will spend time in jail. They perpetuated a large fraud, and it wasn't just Sam. You don't pull this off with one person. And so I'm hoping that the authorities get to the bottom of this faster, not just for the sanctity of the crypto markets, but for all markets, right? Markets are based on trust. And when you have trust broken like this, it questions everyone else, right? People start looking for black swans everywhere. And so in some ways, this is the story of the moment because it is such a giant story, but it's, you know, you're seeing someone who's just spewing more lies. And listen, Sam's always been kind to me. He has a kind demeanor. That was part of the shtick. And I'm not saying he even planned this all like a criminal mastermind. What they did was criminal and they need to be prosecuted for it.
What just happened? I agree with Mike Novogratz for once. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that I agree with Mike Novogratz.